Well, the first day of fall has come and gone, and I'm quickly learning that when the fog starts rolling in the morning, it's starting to freeze at night. I guess I pushed my luck because I went out and checked on my peppers this morning, and well, they're not looking too good. I better pick those before I lose them. Now, it gets really cold up here in the winter, and once the snow starts flying, I'm going to want to turn my attention to indoor activities, so there's one more thing that I want to try to get done while I still can. I've been wanting to turn this shed into a woodworking shop since I moved in here. Problem is, this log splitter isn't something that can just be hanging around out in the yard. Now, I'm not saying that there's a criminal element around here, but this is logging country, and a hot commodity like this could be quite desirable to someone who can't afford to buy their own. Same thing with this wood chipper. Stuff like this needs to be hidden away. I also have a few smaller items like this rototiller and a snowblower that need to be kept inside as well. So my plan is to build a shed to keep all this stuff out of the elements and hidden away from prying eyes. And most importantly, once all the equipment is out of that shed, I'll be able to turn it into the woodworking shop of my dreams. Now, I had some camera problems and I lost a whole day's footage of when I cut these lilac bushes back and dug this spot for this shed. And I know those 4x4s look like they're sitting right in dirt, but they're actually, they're sitting on a combination of paving stones and rocks. And I filled it with just some rocks that I had. It's kind of a sandy rock mixture, but I'm not too worried about it. That old fence has been there 50 years and it's still standing, so I expect to get a few years out of these 4x4s. Now, I mulled over quite a few different ideas when I was designing this shed, but I ultimately decided on a single slope roof. The wall standing on the right there, that's exactly 9 feet to the top of the double plate, and that's a very specific number, and I'll show you why in a minute here. The wall I'm about to stand on the left is exactly 6'3" to the top of the double plate, and that is so that I can get maximum slopage and still not bonk my head on the rafters when I walk into the shed. It worked out. Now, as it turned out, my camera problems were an SD card, and I lost all the footage from this roof. But as you can see, I birdmouthed the top and the bottom. I went crazy with the blocking at the top and the bottom. I used hurricane clips and half-inch plywood. And then I used a nice vapor barrier, 1x4, and then put the tin on. An interesting element to this roof is you'll notice on the right-hand side where it goes over top of my woodshed's tin roof and then underneath the shop's tin roof. That was by design to keep all the snow and the rain out between the buildings. And the reason why it was exactly 9 feet. And most importantly, it looks good from this angle. Well, the weather people were calling for snow and rain, and it was supposed to get really cold, but all of a sudden, it just warmed right up. I don't think they know what they're doing. So I'm taking advantage of it, and I'm going to paint everything I can. When I went shopping for these bolts, I wanted the black ones, but for some reason they were more than double the price of the silver ones. So I bought the silver ones. I took them home and I used about 50 cents worth of paint, and I made them black. Now that the painting is done, it's time to make the doors. I'm using lap joints because it's the absolute strongest way to go. And you don't necessarily need a dado blade. If I don't have a dado blade, I'll just use a skill saw. Check out this video right here where I made a 16-foot gate with just basic tools and lap joints. Now, I don't want to offend any real carpenters, but I absolutely love using this drywall rasp when I'm doing lap joints. It just leaves the perfect finish. Links in the description. Now here's another thing that pisses me off about the internet. Everybody wants to sell you something to make things square. Just give us $39.99 and your doors will be perfectly square. I'm going to show you the absolute cheapest, best way to square off something like this. Fix down one of the boards. That's it. And then, oh yeah, I should mention that I PL 400 everything. I only use PL 400 on outside stuff. And then I clamp all four corners. I don't tighten them right down. I just kind of snug them up. And then I start checking. And then when I have to move it, I just move the one side. The other side stays fixed down. I was within a quarter, so it was a quick adjustment. But it's perfectly bang on. But apparently I need to check that side again just to admire my handiwork, I guess. Oh yeah, it's perfect. So once I go find a rag and get the glue off my hands, I'll come back and tighten all the clamps down. And I also use finishing staples. They're 1.25 inch finishing staples. And I put 4 in each corner. Once I get the right staples in the gun, of course. And then it's just a matter of waiting for the glue to dry. So the next day I give them a quick test fit just to make sure they were going to fit. And you'll notice I threw in an extra 2x6 in the middle. It dawned on me that I needed a backer for my bolt lock, so I threw that in with pocket screws. And now it's time to put the plywood on. So the staples were just essentially holding it together while the glue dried. And now that the glue is dry, I'm putting the plywood on and I'm using 1.5 inch decking screws. 3 in each corner, 1 every foot or so, and this door will be nice and strong. I have a whole bunch of these metal door hinges that I picked up at the Restore for dirt cheap. I just haven't had a chance to use them until now. Problem is I have to router them in or else I'll have like a huge gap all the way around my doors, which I don't want. And I don't want to screw them to the face of the shed because I'm not an animal. So I'll just take the time and router them in. And there we go. And that's the story of my shed. and I was able to get everything I wanted in there and more. So, I want to thank you for sticking it out till the end. I really appreciate it. And if you wouldn't mind giving it a thumbs up, that would really help the channel along. And come on back and see me again sometime. Bye now.